5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey YouTubers and friends, how you all doing tonight? I hope you're all absolutely fabulous. If you're part of the Flash Fam clan, whatever, let me see a hashtag Flash Fam. All right, Toledo Jess, Dano, and we have a return visitor from our friend Charlie Reiser's from Reiser's Treasure Emporium, and hopefully he'll have no problem getting on Google Hangouts. I know he knows he has a link on his Facebook Messenger, so we're gonna wing it like normal until he gets here, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Tuesday Night Hangout Live. With the hosts, Ann Higelmire,
All right, Dano, Jesse, how you feeling? Any better, Dano, since you've ate?
Let me unmute. Not really, but I'm here.
Well, I hope
If I disappear, you'll know where I'm at. That's all I'm going to say.
I like that attitude. The show must go on. Thank you for being here, even if you're feeling under the weather. Hopefully the primetime slot will cooperate for us. Ask Brian. I've been doing all kinds of beeping testing. Jesse, how are you, buddy?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bud.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because I'm somewhere on the internet. I'm not sure where the heck I'm at.
It's lost in the cyber world.
Oh yeah, I got pages up, but I can't find the page I was looking for, which is our chat. But here, back on YouTube. I'm kind of back.
I see it's buffering a little, but bummer.
Yes, the picture's not very clear either on my end. So I don't know.
You'll have to go to that little cog on your right, and if it's on auto, put it up to 480. Because that's all I have it on right now, because that's what my program told me would be optimal. And until I can fork out
much better.
for
Thank you.
until I can get a new
Wait.
computer for streaming, we're gonna have to deal with what I got. So sorry. I see we have a lot of friends in the house, and I see a broad array of people.
Iffy Signals. Hello.
Oh, I know Iffy. Hey, Iffy.
Yeah.
If you would hang out in some of the circles that Dano and I do, Jesse, you would probably know Iffy.
Huh?
Charlie Reiser's made it to the Flash House.
Cool. There's Supergirl, Amy Smith. And
Amy, how you doing?
Wendy, BJ the Crow, Outdoorsy gal.
Oh, know whose birthday it is
Martin.
today?
Yeah, Martin from Golden Pay Dirt Reviews. Yeah. David Villa just stepped in.
Know whose birthday it is?
No.
It's Wendy's.
Well, it is, isn't it? I saw her post.
And know whose birthday was last week? Is Hook in here?
I don't see no Hook.
Oh.
I see Chris from Dire Gold Prospectors.
Yeah.
He said you're lagging.
Oh, well, you do better, buddy. I do the best I can.
There's the educationer.
Oh, Guy Clark, thank you.
Yep.
Greg.
Redbeard, Relic Hunter. Yep. That's them too.
Girl Amy Smith, if nobody mentioned her. Oh, there's Luke Duke. What's up, Luke Duke?
Of course, our most favorite Australian, David Buckle.
Oh, David Buckle, of course.
I have a lot of favorite Aussies there. We have David, of course. We have Brad. We have Gotti. What's her name? Grotti.
Grotti. Yep, Grotti.
We have lots of Aussies that are our favorite Aussies. I just might have to think about changing the time slot altogether. It might be Charlie's fault, though. It did it last time to Charlie, too.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi, how are you?
All right.
I'd be doing a lot better if everything was running smoother. Man,
it ran really good last week.
Yeah, and during the testing all throughout the weekend. Hey, Redbeard, how you doing? I don't think I ever seen Redbeard here before. Hey, Ed.
I don't know. Hey.
Jared.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Jared. Hey, Jared.
Sindelicious, mixing it up. Welcome.
Gold Monkey.
Hey, Samuel.
Gold Monkey.
That's
him in there in a while.
We
didn't see him in there in a while.
Hi, Liz.
Is that who Ghost Talk is? Is that Liz?
No, Liz is Digging Connect.
Oh, okay.
Ghost Talk is
Rasta Man Ralph.
Reiser.
Oh, okay. You know, I keep avoiding that one name for you, Ed. Keep scrolling by. I keep ignoring it, but there he goes again.
Oh, here, wait. Here, wait. I got something just for that. And I'm working on music to it, too.
Just so he knows I wasn't ignoring him.
Little Iron Marvin.
Mining, how you doing tonight?
Run for the hills. Run to the street.
Remember, this is a rough edit.
Jersey history hunters, how you guys doing?
Maybe Audra could help me with it.
Head for the brook, digging and shoveling's the game. Shoveling and sifting, feeding your sloughs, watching the pipe poop accumulate.
I kind of got tongue twisted there.
Digging and shoveling and
I was driving on ice, though.
Don't you know it's what we do? Run for the hills.
There you go, Ron.
Run
Shut
to
up. There was a few seconds left.
Next time this year, it'll be Ed in the Shed on tour.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely lagging tonight, you guys. So you have to
Songs from the river.
I actually think it's the time slot now. Because all weekend, I asked Brian, we were doing.
What do you mean? What happens, Michael? Michael wants to know what happens. I don't know what happens here.
What happens?
I don't know what
Michael
happens.
Anderson. Michael Anderson, step on up. What happens?
I don't know what happens.
We're gonna do this if it kills.
Well, I can tell you
or not.
what happens. You know, happens.
Hey, my Chucky Jordy. No, what happens now?
Ed's up for a night.
You know, that word happens.
Oh no! I didn't say it.
No one even said that name either.
There's been no mention of that gentleman's name, and if it is, they shall have their kicked.
Everybody, if anyone mentions no name, time them out. And if you know us, you know who No Name is. Oh my goodness sakes alive! Oh,
No, we're not using
Nope.
Skype tonight. We're not.
No, and all through the tests, Google Hangouts work good, everything, and I'm on the same settings and everything. I'm just gonna have to go in debt and buy a new computer, I think. Charlie,
that might sound better. Iron Flash Maiden. No, Maiden Flash.
Iron Maiden Flash.
It's Iron Marvin.
Iron Marvin Maiden.
That's what it is. It's Iron Marvin. Ron knows. Ron put it up. He knows.
Yeah, Ron.
There you go, Iron Marvin.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can on my end, Michael. So.
Got no video, Rasta man. We know, we see that too. I don't have it either.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
I'm doing what I can.
So we'll just pretend there's no video, anyways.
Now, can you hear us in real time? That's the important thing,
right?
Or is that being all globbered up? I want to know how Charlie does it. I never see that guy lag.
Well, that's cool. That's cool, David.
And I use
Let me read that again. Bolgos probably lost 80 viewers this morning because it lagged for 10 seconds. Well, that sucks. That's not cool.
How far behind are we? Somebody answer now. We'll start timing.
Poop happens. We're frozen there for a minute, but what's the voice like? Audio. Now, Charlie was going to answer a question and Jesse cut him off.
I'm sorry.
Which is actually strange because my computer is actually a dinosaur. I mean, I think this isn't a Dell, it's an Alexander Graham Bell. I mean, it's that old.
Alexander Graham Bell. I wonder if it's your internet provider, Ed. Just not enough.
I have 100. Before I went on, I was getting like 96 download and 13 upload. And that should be plenty to stream. So, I don't know. It's aggravating.
I don't know, too.
What pisses me off royally is It happened the last time too. So, and just the other day, or ask American Gold Prospector and others, during our test streams, Charlie, everything was going nice and smooth. Several different time frame slots throughout the weekend. I'd hate to go and count how many I did.
I saw you on a couple of times over the weekend.
Yeah, they were all test streams because, oh, that ain't good, Sin Delicious. That ain't good. Because I personally want to give you the best show I can. Ah. So
Just
how
the
was your...
audio's good.
Huh?
He said the audio's good. John Wolf says audio's good. Way behind,
Thank
though.
you, Jaron. You're already on my super chatters list. I'm
Oh.
gonna have to update
Thomas
that.
Folks is here now. There's Thomas.
Lucky Ducky Dog Thomas Folks.
And there's Coils to the Soil just showed up.
That's Gina. Hi, Gina. And Matt and Bob Dip, John Wolf, Joe from the Motherlode. No, you're not late. Well, Chris, sorry, but deal with it, please. Because the show must go on. Thank you, Chris Dyer. Yeah, and I don't know why. I'll see what I can do. Let's bring in our guest, please, Jesse. And I can't change that. My bit. Jesse.
Jesse, I think we lost Jesse.
Oh, we did lose Jesse. Hi, Charlie. How are you doing tonight? I'm sorry.
Great. How are you?
I was good. I was absolutely excellent until about 18 minutes ago when I started seeing that wheel go around. And now I'm peening the Yahoo out of YouTube.
Darn that Murphy. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he said it.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to say that. Oh, I'm sorry.
The name that's not to be said. That's okay.
It's
Christy, Outdoorsy Girl beeped it out for you, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's if we're in real time. I'm seeing the wheel go round and round.
Actually, on my end, I don't see the wheel actually right now, but of course I'm listening to you guys over the earbuds, so I don't know what volume is like, or audio rather.
Right.
Jesse made it back.
I'm back. Don't ask me how I got back or where I even went. I don't know.
We're not using Skype, Chrissy. We're using Google Hangouts.
It's Russian collusion.
Because
The Russians did it.
Google was eating too much of my resources for what I have.
Now let's see if I can get back over to YouTube.
Oh, you lost it all.
Back on it. I did. I did everything. I mean, just all of a sudden.
Sandy.
What the heck?
Kane beeping. No one's on the list except for our guest tonight, David. So unfortunately, we have no call-ins. So if you want to ask our guest a question, please do it in the chat. And I'm working on the solution for the call-in. It's in the works. It's just, what can I say?
Ron says, ask a 16-year-old, they'll know what's wrong.
Oh, I'm back. Hi, Anika, and there's a new name I see, Snowy Range.
He's from
There's
Australia.
a new name to me. I don't care if you know. It's a new name to me.
Well, after
welcome.
After the 16-year-old gets done, they need to come over to Reiser's house and get the VCR clock to stop flashing.
It's a plug bind.
Do we have a computer savvy 16-year-old willing to work on our computers and Reiser's VCR for free?
Oh, yeah, don't forget the free part. We'll teach you how to pay it.
Yeah, we'll trade you. We'll teach you how to find gold, and then you could find gold for the rest of your life.
There you go.
It'd be like teaching you fishing, but but you can't eat gold. I guess you could. David Buckle did. Nugget Brain Peterson ate gold.
Well, he only says he did. We don't know if that's really
Busted
true.
Knuckles did it.
We know he did it, or he faked us out.
That's pretty good.
These guys ate gold?
Oh, yeah.
That's some gold I don't want to find after.
Well, no, that's
just part of it.
That's wait a minute. The eating it's the easy part. It's the eating it again. And
the recycling of the gold.
Doing it again for a month
And
every time.
again.
Panning it out, doing it again.
Re-ingesting.
Again and
The
again.
hard part would be classifying the material.
Yeah, that might take a putty knife and a spoon or something.
Oh,
If he misses it, it'll be a good story for the septic guy. You know?
well, they say there is a lot of gold and stuff in our sewage systems. Well, people drop stuff. People.
Sorry, Michael.
Well, if a guy drinks Goldslogger, he's pulling out some gold leaf.
Thanks for stopping by.
So you get Reiser in the chat, and it just winds up your conversation goes to, well, you know.
Well, we have a good time with it, though. That's what matters.
We always try to have a good time, right, guys?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Don't
say that name, Bob.
Bob Dip did say it. I was going to time him out, and I thought it'd be nice to not do it.
Make him put a quarter in a quarter jar.
Well, it's trying. It's popping into green and orange, but let's just do what we can, because I really hate to do this to Charlie again and say, want to come back in another 3 months?
We're going, no. I've had enough.
What I should do is just start calling in. If I see you guys are going great, I'll start calling in halfway through your stream.
There you go. So what a way to be a guest on. Do it on an open line Tuesday, and you could end up being like some of our call-ins, just end up turning into our guests for the whole night.
Right.
It's like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Smith. I know you're the guest, but I'm popping in here now.
Hey, it's happened. I mean, it's happened on this show and other shows. Calling comes in, next thing you know, he's the main topic of conversation.
Yeah,
it happens. Yeah.
Now, I do have one question for you guys. Are you guys getting out this time of year?
Some do. Like, if you see Dyer Prospecting in the crowd right now, he was there. He went out last weekend with another friend of ours, Chris Pierce and Chris Price and Chris Dyer. But it wasn't frozen this time.
But the ground was frozen.
But the ground was hard. They pretty much needed picks. That's why you work in the stream. If it isn't frozen over, the water will keep the material thawed. So you work within the wetted perimeter. That's what I did back home in Washington during the winter. I was a lot younger and willing to freeze my ganoids off in a creek.
And we still do it from time to time through the winter.
Yeah,
We do get out.
Now I'm finding as the older I'm getting, my threshold gets higher. It used to be it has to be above 20 before I'd go metal detecting. Now it's above 32. But I have to admit, this year it's got to be at least above 40 to 45. I tell you, I just can't take that cold anymore. You know.
My body can, but my fingers can't. My hands can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I was talking to my wife. I was sitting at the table talking to my wife, and I realized, damn, why are my hands so shiny? She says, well, you know, when you age, your skin actually thins out.
Yeah, you got old people skin.
I got old people skin. I got shiny skin on my hands. That sucks.
Now, I've even been in the water when it was probably 40, 45 degrees and just in regular clothes, but boots. And that used to never faze me. Now, you ask me now at this age, if I was going to even try that, no.
That's why God created neoprene.
Yeah.
And like I said, my body and everything else is fine, but my hands are hurting right away.
Well, they make neoprene gloves too, buddy.
No, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing. My hands get cold and I'm done.
Oh no, it's a lot nicer when I can work inside all day. The last week.
Oh, I don't miss working outside.
The last week I've been working outside, and man, yesterday my toes and my fingers were so cold. Oh, they hurt. I could feel them freezing. And I'm just like, dude, I don't care what time it is. I'm warming my fingers and toes. Thank goodness my better half, she got me a lot of toe warmers and hand warmers. So I went to my truck, took off my boots, shoved a toe warmer on my sock, and got my toes all nice and toasty, and shoved some hand warmers in my gloves. But what I find now is wearing too many layers, it just like saps you. You know, I have a base layer or two on, and then my pants, and then if I have to wear bibs, it's just like, I feel like that little kid on, what's that, A Christmas Story. Make sure you're bundled up, you know, okay, Mom. And how can you work like that, you know? You can barely move, let alone swing a hammer and stuff.
I'm glad I did all my outdoor work when I was younger, and I grew up to be a factory rat and worked inside. So,
Well,
okay.
I kind of envy you and factory workers, but factory work.
Not really.
Not really. It drives me nuts. I hate going to the same place day after day, same machine. I've done it. Time after time, day after day. Yeah. And one thing I love about my job is you're here for a while, then you're on to a new place. You see the progression from nothing to something. And sometimes the drive sucks, but you know, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 2 hours. Yeah. But
I like my job now. I'm indoors, but I go from building to building in the city.
yeah,
Yeah, I like my job too. I'm a house sitter.
there you go.
I'd much rather be a house sitter, my friend. Trust me, I'm with you on that one. But that don't pay the bills right now.
No, I don't. But like, I already did that. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
still doing that.
I did my. How many years did I work? Approximately 60 years total. No, well, about 55, 54.
I was gonna say you've been working since you
I
were
started. I
5.
started working in hustler when I was young, dude. When I was 6, 7 years old, I was cutting
What
grass,
did your
shoveling
dad
snow.
put you out
I
on
was
the
making dollars
corner?
wherever I could.
Put you out on the corner selling roses, didn't he, or oranges?
No, wrong part of the country. I'm from Ohio. I cut grass and shovel
Shovel
sidewalks.
the.
I went door to door selling packages of seeds for. There was a long time ago in the back of comic books. You used to buy all these weird things. One of the things they sold was a salesman package of packages of seeds that you paid. I don't remember, a few bucks for them. They sent you a box with a bunch of different seeds, wildflower seeds and stuff, and you went around the neighborhood selling them.
I
did
used
that.
to sell greeting cards.
I'll say
but,
mine was Christmas cards. Every Christmas I'd do
uh,
that deal.
I belonged to a card club where
Oh,
you
wow.
sold
Thanks,
cards
Chaos
and
Paddlers.
Yeah, thanks, Cal.
Jacob, thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm gonna have to put Jacob up on there now. But let's get to our guest, guys. He's
Okay.
been patiently waiting for 30 minutes. Well, maybe 25. Yeah, I'm glad you had no problem getting it. It's funny because I have a monitor here with all YouTubey crap. Then I instead of looking into here to see the screen for Hangouts, I want to look over here, and then I'm looking away from everything on the screen. Looks kind of funny to me. But you look like Kilroy to me, Charlie.
Kilroy? You mean the old cartoon for World War II?
Yeah, because in the little box on the side down below, all I see is like the bridge of your nose and up.
Kilroy was here.
That's right. Charlie Kilroy.
You know what that was all about, right?
I don't know what the
I-
basis of the cartoon was. No.
I don't think I was even thought of yet. I don't
No,
think I was
I'm
even
sure. Well,
thinking
the
of
story goes that there was an inspector who inspected ships,
Kilroy.
Kilroy, and that's how he signed his
Oh.
inspection.
Kilroy was here.
Kilroy was here, and they knew that he had inspected the boat. You can look
Great.
it up. Pretty
Great,
cool.
great stuff. I tell you, we did an article this evening on this evening stream about the Tuskegee Airmen that was, well, found.
Tuskegee, whatever they call it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they found a ring of one of the pilots, and they returned the ring to the daughter of the pilot. And I don't know. I thought that was probably the world's best ring return I've ever heard tell of.
Oh, heck yeah. Without a doubt. Well, there isn't, none of the pilots are alive anymore. Didn't the last one just recently die?
Yeah, I think it was
so ago?
99 or 97.
Right.
Yeah. Great stuff. But I see Tasmania, and he asked if I had ever talked to a guy from Tasmania, or anybody had called or talked to on a live. No, I have to say no. I would actually have to pull out the map to see where in Australia Tasmania would be.
It's south of Melbourne. It's an island south of the mainland of continent of Australia. It's just south. I believe it's below Melbourne.
And I saw somebody else was asking about a metal detector for their wife that's under $800. And if
Much
you're
rather
not
be-
doing the beach, I would go with the Garrett line. I think the Garrett AT Pro is a fine machine, and it'd be well beneath your $800, but leave you room to buy a pinpointer. So that would be my recommendation.
Or do like I did, got a package deal for under $700 with a pinpointer.
And hey, you know, some of the dealers now, you could actually work with some of the dealers. You know, say, hey, you want to buy a package deal, but you also want the headless earphones, you know.
Oh, got those too.
Oh, great. I tell you what.
Yeah, you can a lot, and I've noticed that a lot of dealers do make deals like that as a package deal for you if you talk to them sweetly.
And I tell you what, I think the wireless headphones is probably the best invention for metal detecting probably in the past 5 years. I tell you, I have gone through so many headphones where I snagged them on like Briars or whatnot.
Right.
And, oh my goodness. And they're lightweight and you don't got that cord just, you know, acting like a mother-in-law, you know. But I tell you. I tell you. Now, I you know what
that's what I got my wife for Christmas. She's waiting for the spring to hit to start getting out there and looking for permissions. Although she probably could do it now.
Well, I know for us, we're in this middle phase of winter where the ground right now is not frozen, but by tomorrow it can be. I mean, here in the East Coast, we'll get really mild days, but then we can drop down to zero in just a matter of a day or two. And
sounds like us in Ohio.
Yeah, don't like the weather. Wait an hour or two.
Yeah, right.
In fact, we got snow coming tonight.
Yeah, and last week it was in the 40s, and yesterday I think the high was like 23 or something like that. Today it was 33. And they said occasional snow flurries and showers, and it frickin' snowed on me all morning until noon. I mean, snowed. There was no flurries. But we're not doing our job right. I feel we're Charlie.
We're sitting here just talking.
Yeah. But it should be all about Charlie and his great channel, Reiser's Treasure Emporium.
Okay, I think Ed wants me to go. So Charlie, tell us about your YouTube channel and how you got started and what it's all about.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, man.
Well, you know, I started our YouTube channel for my pure disdain and disgust of television. And I mean, I figure if I couldn't find anything worthwhile watching, I'd make something my own. And I don't know, I actually vented about that. I had a vlog one day, and I just let everybody know what exactly I was doing. And we gave up cable even probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Here too.
Because we were paying X amount of dollars per month, and we were watching perhaps one channel. And I just became generally disgusted with network TV and TV and cable in general. And I thought, you know what? There's independent makers, such as YouTube, who are doing better quality work of media than anything that's on network or cable TV. So I decided to throw my hat in the ring, and it took me a while to get a format down and et cetera, and to actually kind of figure out what exactly I was doing or what should I do. And then I figured, you know what, I'm reading stuff almost on a daily basis. I'm not only an avid reader, I'm a compulsive reader. So I thought, you know what, I'll just spit back whatever it is I'm researching or reading, or because it's usually always geared around history or treasure hunting or metal detecting. So I thought, you know what, we'll take that and use that for the format of the YouTube channel. And
right.
so far, I mean, it's got a pleasant response. And then, of course, I also love, old radio shows and early television. You know, like the Jack Benny show and Red Skelton show. So I thought, you know what, we'll take some of the formats of that, some of the craziness, you know, and throw that into the mix. And I also have an affinity for old commercials, if you can't tell. And so we thought, we know what, we'll make up this product. And everybody was doing stickers at the time. And I thought, everybody's doing stickers. So I thought, what's the craziest thing we could do for giveaways or promotions? And I don't remember exactly how it came about, but toilet paper. We came up with toilet paper.
I saw that.
Yes, as our promotion. And I thought, you know, we could do a series of commercials around this imaginary toilet paper, and it's really kind of gotten a life of its own. People will actually go through the stores and film themselves asking for it. And Rivendell Coins has actually made a black and white commercial for it. And I tell you, it's kind of breathed the life of its own. And that's the thing. You know what? We can have history. Doesn't have to be the stuffy subject. You know, you can have fun with it. You can have laughs with it. And again, with that, with the interaction of people, it becomes very, very, I don't know. I find it to be entertaining. Liz, Diggin' Canuck, I have conversations with her about this all the time. One of the things about being the host of a show, you're almost not having as much fun as the folks in the chat because you're missing all of it.
Right.
There's times I'll actually go back and watch my own show and think, wow, that was a great time. But I missed it. I had no idea what was going on.
Oh yeah. I go back. I go back the next day and watch because you miss a lot. You're just, you know, you do, especially in the chat room. You miss a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of got the format down. You know, I kind of backed off doing a lot of videos in favor of doing the live stream and throwing more content because we only have so much time. You know, we all have careers outside of YouTube. And so, you know, after we got kind of slimmed down on doing videos, we'll probably do a video once the weather gets better, probably every other week, and still do our weekly live stream. But yeah, I'm all in favor of using the content now for the live stream. And I don't know. I think I have a great deal of fun, and I hope other people do as well.
I have fun too, but the thing that is just on nights like tonight when you're getting such a lag, and it sounds like even our audio's lagging.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But what bugs me is in my OBS, everything's green and good, dropping 0 packets. My CPU usage is rather high, though, which it was nowhere near that during the weekend. But I'm not dropping any frames or nothing. And I've tried Streamlabs, but Streamlabs, even when I'm signed in, won't go live. And for the life of me, I can't, even if I take no monitoring, because some things I want to hear from my broadcast software, you know, Charlie. And other stuff like me talking, I don't want to hear it because it throws me all off. And it won't let me turn off the monitor for my mic. So I keep hearing this echo in my ear of me, and I already don't like the way I sound. So, and then it won't let me sign on because I know you use Streamlabs, right?
No, I use XSplit Broadcaster.
Oh, XSplit. Okay. You use the free version or the paid version?
No, I upgraded some time ago for the paid version. After I kind of got used to it and figured it out and kind of really saw what it could do, I went ahead and did the paid version.
Well, that might be it. It might be your encoder. It's better. I've been looking at different encoders too. Now I know Liz from the Digging Connect. She uses Streamlabs OBS. Professor Nez, what software do you use, buddy? If he even
is he in the
me.
chat?
Professor Nez, yeah.
Hey, Professor Nez, how are you? I caught your show 2 weeks ago, and let me tell you what, that was a great show. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I probably jumped in about 3/4 of the way through, and I was very highly impressed with that show. So I will be most definitely tuning back into your show
You'll
again.
have to become part of the Nez Nation.
Nez Nation. I like that. That's great.
Oh, Professor Nez, he's cool. I try and make his show every Sunday.
Yeah, I was surprised to see you there. I didn't realize that you were going to be in there. And
yeah, we're actually from the same part of California too, where I was born. Well, same county. He's from a much higher end than I was. But I still love Professor Nez. He's a cool guy.
He was higher up the hill.
Well, he was closer to the beach.
Okay.
Anitria Bigger says, where are you all on Facebook? Your YouTube channel, I want to follow. I'm on Facebook. I know Flash is on Facebook, right?
Yep.
I have a group, a Facebook group with the same name as my channel name. And it can be found there. And speaking of Northern California, wow, are they getting the weather now or what?
Oh, they're getting...
Yeah, they're getting some rains.
They might...
Lots of snow.
I have better stream health, so hopefully things will start flying right. Cross my fingers, pray to God. They help me!
And, and two, the people you meet by streaming, you meet people from all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
And it's phenomenal. I know not this year, next year, the missus and I are planning a trip to England and actually meet some of the other detectorists that, we follow one another's channels and whatnot. And we were quite excited about that. But yet, who would have thought that just only a couple years ago, But, and like I said, I was extremely excited about that. And I tell you what, that takes on a whole different kind of research, because now we're also considering doing live streams from the UK while we're over there. And as easy as I thought that was going to be, it seems like we needed some sort of special card for our iPhone to do that. But we're still researching it and figuring it out, and I test after test after test. We're still going to take some of the live streams out on the road once we rebuild some of our confidence. We tried live streaming live from Cape May, New Jersey one night. We broke the internet that night. Actually,
YouTube or on Facebook?
Yeah, on YouTube. But we didn't actually break it. It wasn't our fault. I thought it was something that we did that we weren't doing right. But here, come to find out, it was YouTube, because everybody was crashing that night. And we got some stuff. I did a test, a test that kind of didn't really work out too well. We tried doing a walking tour of Philadelphia one time. That would have worked better if we just stayed in one spot. And so we're going to, we've been experimenting, trying different things, and I think this year is going to be our year to actually get out live, especially once we hit the summer months when we can actually be outdoors and still have daylight. But because that's one bad thing about coming on at 7 o'clock in the evening. In wintertime, it's too dark, But
am I gone again?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And Dano has this picture on. Charlie, you collect. You're big into history. What other forms of treasure hunting do you do besides like antiquing, coins, and metal detecting?
Well, I'm a big factoid. I love to research, and usually, whether it's antiques or metal detecting or artifacts or Native American stuff, anything that can use as a catalyst to start digging through history, I love. The only bad thing with me in the antique shop, I do a lot of buying and reselling and that sort of thing, is, well, after I buy something, I don't necessarily want to sell it because I get into the history of it, and it becomes tough to try and get rid of this thing that now I've put so much energy into researching, you know. But
you sound like some of those guys. I've been on Netflix. There's a show. It's only like 6 episodes. It's called Ghost Town Gold. It's kind of like American Picker, but these guys go out. They're out west, Nevada, Montana, Wyoming, that area, looking for old cowboy stuff. And what's really cool is the history that these guys know. You know, so that's pretty awesome learning history that way too.
Years and years and years ago, I did an article for a small magazine about poker in the Old West, and I would love to have some of the old gambling devices from the Old West, like a chuck-a-luck dice game or an old roulette wheel. I tell you, those were some exciting times in our history.
You know, it's funny because in this last episode that I watched of that show, they were in Nevada, and they found one of those cheating things the slide that you put up your sleeve, and holds you an extra card in there. And
like a cheat. It would.
Yeah, it was a cheat. What do you call it? Cheat? No, what do you call it? An advantage or something. There was a name for it, but it had the whole kit, everything there in a box. So that was kind of cool learning about how that came to be. There's a history behind that too.
That's great stuff. And you know, we'll just a lot of the stuff too from the Old West, we lose the history because of where it's not exactly recorded a lot of times.
Right.
Like there was a poker game where the whole territory of New Mexico was actually put on the table of a poker game. And it was rather I don't know what you call it, but it was kind of an unfair raise, because how does the other player call that? You can't call it. You can't. So basically the other guy who put the territory of New Mexico on the table, won the pot because the other guy couldn't call it. But
Right.
Stories and things like that, I mean, there's just such a rich history out there if you dig for it. Well, metaphorically speaking.
If you listen to some of the old timers that are hanging around wherever you're at, you'll get a lot of history that way too, and a lot of potential leads for whatever you may be looking for. But definitely a lot of history.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's actually how I got into all this. My grandfather, when I was a young kid, he would take me to different places in the state, and he would take me to places that are now, then wooded. And he says, there used to be a whole town out here. There used to be a general store. There used to be a mill. And yet he's showing me this place. And as a young kid, I'm looking, there's just woods out here. None of that is here. And then, as I got older and understood, like, oh, yeah, well, duh, yeah, it's not there now. But 100 years ago, the area was booming. And I tell you, yeah, and exactly. You know what? We take for granted of our elders, of the things that they lived through, and the information that they can share by actually experiencing the situations in history. It's almost a shame. One of the best books, I think, about the Depression is a book called Hard Times. I'm not going to remember the author's name, but the book is called Hard Times. It's by an old radio guy who did interviews with people who actually experienced the Depression firsthand. And it wasn't just the unfortunate folks he interviewed. He also interviewed the folks who actually survived the Depression quite well. But it gave you such a personal perspective of what it was like to go through those times. And those emotions from those people with the personal experiences, that's something that we can't really touch with an artifact.
Right.
We can't. And so, I mean, there's just other types of treasure out there besides, the physical,
So there's you know who Terry Carter is?
Oh, yes.
I love watching his videos because that's exactly what he does. He talks to these old people and he gets their stories out on video. So he's preserving history.
I wouldn't be surprised if he happened to pop in.
I haven't seen him.
Of
course, now that I mentioned his name, he may pop in, huh?
Yeah, he may do. I like it too. He sits down the old timers and he lets them talk, asks them some questions.
Right.
I keep telling him he's doing great, and he's like, "Oh no, maybe one day."
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude.
He's doing more for history than he realizes, I think, by documenting these old stories. That's the only way you're going to get them is by somebody telling you the story. It's not written down anywhere. So I'm glad he's out there doing it. I hope he doesn't stop.
No, neither do I. So back to Charlie.
Back to Charlie.
You know what? I would love to see Terry live stream, to be honest.
Oh,
well, we had him on.
Yeah, we had him on as a guest.
I think, before I got on your show, the first time I actually went back and was seeing who else was on the show and whatnot. When I saw Terry Carter on there, I was like, I think I stopped searching to see who else was on and actually just watched that stream.
That was good enough for you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea. We should start bugging them about doing live stuff.
I think it'd be great. I mean, you know what? Every now and again, when Terry posts a video or whatnot, I'm a big morning get ready for work type of YouTube guy. I'll let stuff play in the background as I'm getting ready for work or whatnot. And
I do that sometimes too.
And usually, if Terry Carter's got something on, on standby or whatnot, I'll listen to it as I get ready for work and whatnot. And I tell you, some of the stuff, boy, I tell you what, I long to get out there to Nevada, I tell you. But great stuff. But
yep, Nevada's cool. I like being there. I've been there.
Nevada, northern New Mexico, oh my goodness.
Yep.
And I don't know if I can get used to their climate either, though. Wow, they can get some wicked weather as well.
Yeah, every area of the country's got something that is not fun. Arizona's got triple digit temperatures during the day in the summer and freezing at night,
And if you want to go,
California's got earthquakes. Midwest got tornadoes. The South has got hurricanes.
Something.
And then don't forget the big volcanoes getting ready to blow up in the middle of the country. So.
And New Jersey has landfills.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't you have a coal town or something that's been on fire since the 30s or something?
Yeah, that's Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. I thought it was Jersey.
Yeah, in the mid 60s, it caught fire and it's still burning yet. The feds basically bought out the whole town and told people you had no choice but to move. And it's funny how it was discovered. A gasoline station attendant put his measuring stick into the tank of the gas station holding tank to measure, see how much gasoline's in the tank. When he brought the stick back out, he noticed the stick was extremely hot to the touch. And then, they kind of let the townspeople know that there's an issue going on.
Oh, yeah,
But,
a slight problem.
yeah, right. You know, at the gas station, it's not the place, you know, boom. You don't want to discover that.
Right.
Really, no doubt about that. Oh, jeez.
But actually, you can actually go there. It's actually become this weird cult tourist trap. There's absolutely nothing in this town. There's a main old, the new highway, and then there's the old highway. The new highway kind of bypasses where the coal mine was. The old highway kind of skirts it a little bit, but the old highway actually has cracks and crevices where over the years the fire has, you know, changed the landscape and everything like that. Up until about 5 or 6 years ago, you could still take photographs in the wintertime with the smoke coming out of the ground. And
You can't now? Why? Because it's
well, I
done?
think
Or?
it's starting to burn out from what they say. Who's gone down there and actually can tell? I don't know. But it doesn't smoke like it used to. And yeah, all the kids, you know, they go there. And the old highway, I forget what they call it, a graffiti highway, I think, because all the kids will graffiti everything on their names and
Right.
pictures and everything else on the old highway. But I tell you, was that an airplane?
I don't know what that was.
Sound like a car going by Dano's house.
Say
Oh,
it's probably a semi or something going by.
Yeah.
Yes. Right at my house is where they hit the Jake break, and then the signs just on the end of my property where they can't hit it no more.
The sign right, do not use Jake brake.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna jerk that damn thing up and take it to the other end of my property.
Yeah, they're hearing your cat, Ed. But I think the cat's behind. Big time.
That's way behind.
Well,
It
if
is,
the
isn't it?
cat's behind, that's all YouTube. My cat hasn't.
Because right now Luke Duke just said meow.
Right.
No cat, or I'd be yelling at him.
I know. That's what I was saying. Even the cat is really lagging too.
Yeah, because the cat was meowing a few ago there. Round.
Yep.
Well, I know. Must because I have my ear.
Yeah, you probably didn't hear it.
Hear it. I told you to be quiet, Lucky. But
Rick, quiet him right down.
YouTube was having some troubles last week or so. So if good, that makes me feel better, Charlie. Because if the chat's really lagging,
Jesse's sister.
Yep, I see her.
That means
Hey, Diane.
if the chat itself is really lagging, that means it's on YouTube's end.
Yeah. Oh, RST just showed up.
Well, I think YouTube was also having issues this past Sunday morning. It seems like some of the streams were hitching, and I don't think it was the streamers, because it seemed like whatever stream was going to, they were having this weird lag thing.
Right.
But now, as far as you guys, I mean, do you guys get out west much at all?
Nowhere near as I'd like to, because all my family is out west. My niece is she lives in Arizona or New Mexico now, but I do. My foster brother lives in California in the mother lode. My mom's in Washington. My brother's in Washington. All my nephews are in Washington. 2 of my kids are in Washington with my grandkids. I have one son living in Massachusetts by his mom, about 20 minutes from his mom's house. So I got to see him, though. When do we go to Vermont, Jesse?
I don't know. Last year.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I think my question for you guys, was there ever a spot that you were or walked or vacationed and you didn't have your stuff with you?
Not since I've been doing it, no.
Prospecting?
Yes.
Oh no, even if I leave it here and I go to Washington, I still have stuff.
I've done that metal detecting where I'd visit a place or because my brain's always thinking metal detecting, right? So I would go to different places and like, why don't I have my metal detector here with me? You know, or years ago, I went to not Las Vegas, Nevada. It would be Las Vegas, New Mexico. And, oh my goodness! Of all places that I walked, why I kept thinking, oh my goodness, I should have my metal detector here. And of course, you know, that's probably been a good 12 to 15 years ago. And I still think about that probably once a month. Like, you know, I need to get back to Las Vegas, New Mexico and try metal detecting. But
Yeah, no doubt.
I tell you, Uper Digger, how are you? And
Well, and see with us now too, we got these cool little devices like pocket sluices and pocket bands that we can throw in our car, and they're just always there. So,
always be prepared, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start throwing my Go Find 40 in my truck all the time when it thaws out. Right next on my back seat, and I'll have my change in my pocket pan and my little pocket sluice right there on my console.
Yep.
So I'll be ready to go at any given moment.
For anything.
But at my son's house in Washington, Charlie, I have a sluice. I have like 4 sets and 4 pans. I have a rock crusher and a couple of snuffer bottles and some miscellaneous stuff. It's in a tote. Says Dad's prospecting stuff. And whenever I go for a visit, I have it there.
Awesome. Yeah, I was watching a guy on the YouTube. He was actually prospecting in some of the higher elevation creeks in Pennsylvania. And I have to admit, I'm a naysayer. You know, like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure enough, he was pulling stuff out of that creek. And I was shocked. Of course, I imagine all of that is glacier movement. Is that right?
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania?
In northern Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if PA has any load sources there like New England does and parts of New York. But all of our gold in Ohio and Indiana was brought down by glaciers.
Yeah, people said the same thing about that's crazy. There's no gold here.
Oh yeah, there's no gold here. That's right.
No gold in Ohio. There's no gold in it. It's all in Florida. In the form of rings and necklaces and stuff.
Jaron says chat's not behind.
It's not. Are you sure, Jaron? Answer me now.
Well,
Say
my
yes.
screen's in the orange now, so hopefully it will clean up a bit. I might have to just try a whole different encoder. I might have to pay for one. Since OBS is open source and it's free, I like it, and I'm old, man.
Well, can't you buy upgrade for the OBS?
No.
Oh.
There is no pay upgrade. There is for what Charlie uses. The free model is very limited, and then you get a lot more perks and bells and whistles with the paid.
Yeah, with the paid version, I get to. I never tested how many different screens I can have. I use about six templates, 6 different screens. Usually, I really only use 2, but it also gives me the capacity to play video and to actually have a desktop screen, and which is neat. I've tried some different stuff on the channel where basically looking at artifacts or coins or whatnot, like on eBay during the stream, and kind of talking about them as we go along. Or actually, during the giveaway, I'll switch the screen over to the live screen and actually do the giveaway live. And that way folks can see whoever the bot chooses or whatever. And it really opens up a whole different realm of things that you can do by getting the paid version. It's not bad. I think it's, off the top of my head, I think it's either $7.95 or $8.95 a month. And it's not bad.
How much a month?
I think it's either $7.95 or $8.95 a month.
Oh, that ain't bad.
No. And of course, if you get like a longer subscription, they cut down the price on you. Like if you get if you pay a whole year's worth, they cut you a break or whatever. But
no, I started using Nightbot. Wonder if I took him out. I was trying to figure out a name because, you know, Liz has Bender, and you must be a Jetsons fan. You have the robot. Oh, what's her name?
Rosie?
Rosie. Yeah,
Rosie.
from the Jetsons. I was thinking about calling it Barney or Wilma.
What about Richie Rich's robot mate,
Irona?
Irona.
I was never much into Richie Rich. I was already a little older, and I was out in the streets getting in trouble, and giving teachers like my good friend Professor Nez a hard time in school when they're like, "Why weren't you at school yesterday, Ed?" And I'm like, "Dude, didn't you hear the waves were like awesome, man? They should have seen this tube ride I got." Jeez.
Hey, Adam just showed up. How you doing, Adam?
What was the robot's name from Lost in Space? Was it Robbie the robot?
Robbie the robot was the name of that particular robot, but in Lost in Space, I don't think it had a name. I think it was just a
Will
robot.
Robinson, danger.
I think it was just a
Will
robot.
Robinson,
I don't think it actually had a name. I might be wrong, but I don't ever remember it being called anything but than the robot. But that was Robbie the robot.
But yeah, the whole Rosie thing started because, I mean, Nightbot. Who wants to call it? It's Nightbot. I don't know. Unlike the other name, like the M word name thing, I kind of had to start giving all the technical issues and the problems and everything else a name or a thing, So I just kind of started blaming it on Rosie, whether it was Rosie's fault or not. But
so Rosie is your Murph.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I remember when I first did Rosie, Nightbot or whatever. If you don't have the settings just right, you basically ban the entire chat for breathing.
Oh yeah, especially if they like typing in capitals and using emojis and symbols. I went and disabled everything except for one. I forget. Oh, my banned words. But before I did that, people are like, "Who's timing me out?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "It ain't me." Then I go and I see, I didn't take away Nightbot from my channel. Sorry, Bob. I think that was actually Bob Dipp once.
Yeah, I remember that first show with Rosie. Oh my goodness, I tell you, I wouldn't say it was a train wreck, show because most of the people that come onto the show, they're there for laughs and they see what content there is. But they all laughed it off and had a great time, you know. But it was just weird because basically people were getting timed out for breathing, blinking, and whatnot. And it wasn't until like a couple shows after that we kind of got like the handle on Rosie and kind of calmed her down and made it a little more manageable and actually do the functions that we wanted to do. I don't know about you guys, but the biggest pain in the butt is giveaways. When I first started doing the stream, it used to be, you know, you pick a number and somebody tries to pick the number in chat.
That's why I got Nightbot.
Yeah, right. And oh my goodness, Nightbot or Rosie or whatever you want to call it. Oh my goodness. That just became easy. It became the weight just lifted off your shoulders and it was like, okay, that's it. You know, there's the winner. We're done. And when Liz started first experimenting with Nightbot and whatnot, I sent her a small tutorial. I was like, look, I don't know everything, but this is how I get it to work on our stream. And I sent her like a mini tutorial as far as what we did, and she's actually taken it far beyond where I could even think of possibly going with it. But Liz does such a great job on her stream, I tell you.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Charlie, I'm reading the room. And Rob, get in trouble for what? I'm always in trouble, dude.
We're men, we always live in trouble. Trouble follows us everywhere we go.
Okay, I'm going to let Dave Buckle come in. He must have a hypothetical that he wants to ask be prepared. Be prepared.
Uh-oh. Be prepared.
You're going to get to talk to your Australian.
So Robbie the Robot was actually the name of the character in Forbidden Planet.
How about HAL 2000?
HAL. Oh, there's a good one.
We'll have to think of something for our bot guys.
The Shed Head.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness.
Put a little dancing head up in the corner. You can be singing the Ron for the Hill song.
Oh, my goodness. So... Oh man, when I wish I could make it stay in your show sometime, the whole darn thing, Charlie. I feel bad because I get in there. You start at 7. Usually, Jesse Dano and I start our pre-show at like 1:15, and then we bring in our guest at 7:30 for our pre-show. And then we go live at 8. And I just feel bad because I pop in there and I kind of say my hellos. I get timed out by YouTube a couple of times because I'm typing too much. And then it's like, next thing you know, I'm like, oh, gotta go pre-show. See ya. Bye, Sandy. Bye, Charlie. Bye, everybody. And poof.
You should never feel bad about that because I understand. I always consider you to be my 8 o'clock neighbor, and
right.
But yeah, because I understand completely. Because usually, what people don't realize is the especially with the engineering aspect alone. Let's even take away content completely. I mean, the engineering aspects. Usually, I understand completely the half hour. Usually, I start sitting down in front of the computer probably if not half an hour, 45 minutes before going live. And that's just making sure I got all the engineering aspects right. That doesn't mean getting my notes
Right.
squared away and make sure I got everything situated as far as what I'm going to play or change out pictures or whatever we got going on. And then you have to be almost prepared for that unknown thing, you know, if Rosie's going to act up or whatnot.
Or if the no name acts up. Yeah, I hear you, Charlie. Because even when I'm in your stream, I'll be multitasking. I'll be bringing up stuff. I'll be doing my internet speed. I'll be cleaning cookies in my computer. You know, I'll do a scan disk and that stuff. And then I'll bring in the boys. And yeah, there's a lot of work.
And then we'll be sitting there talking, and next thing you know, you don't hear nothing from Ed because he's busy doing whatever he's doing.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just, I don't know how to put it, but as far as, and also too, you have to go with the flow. You know, this
Right.
really reminds me a lot of early 1940s and 1950s TV, where basically everything was live and you just had to go with it. If the scenery fell over, you just, oh, well, just keep
Moves
going.
out of the way.
Yeah, right. You know? And the same thing with this. I mean, if something flubs or something doesn't work, just go with it and make the best of it.
Right. Videos froze, chat's lagging 5 minutes, you know, just go with it.
I mean, we've had times where Rosie refused to pick a winner. We've had times where I had this wonderful, wonderful presentation to do with a history story, and I had all of these pictures lined up, and I not only did I have pictures, I also had some media footage, you know, some old photography from like the 19-teens that we were going to show live, and none of it worked.
Hey, look who just showed up. One of the wandering buffaloes. I don't know if it's Chad or Kathleen. Maybe it's both. Hi, you two.
Hi. How can you mix that? Shadleen. Hi, Shadleen. How are you?
Yeah, Shadleen.
Our good friends and other Ohio prospectors, Shad and Kathleen Biffle of the Wandering Buffaloes.
You did say Shad, right? You didn't say Chad or Brad or Tad, right?
Shad, and Kathleen. Shad.
With an S.
Yeah.
Shad.
Don't make me spit out my teeth, Justin.
We love our Biffalos.
Yeah, actually, we love all our friends out there.
Yes, we do.
It's because of them we do what we do, right, guys? Right, Charlie?
Oh,
You bet. You bet.
So what's on your agenda for this coming season? Well,
besides metal detecting, we got 2 more episodes in the Captain Kidd series I want to do. We've been doing research and actually looking not necessarily for Captain Kidd's treasure as some of his mutineers' treasure. We can actually document where they had landed once they had mutinied from Kidd and got back to the mainland United States. And actually, they landed here in New Jersey. And all that can be documented and et cetera. And I have 2 or 3 videos about that now, and we're going to work on that some more in the spring. Other than that, we do have not quite a walking tour, but we're going to go back into Philadelphia and do some stationary live streams in Philadelphia. We'll probably do one from Independence Hall. I would love to do one at the Mint, though I'm not sure if we're allowed to or not, but that has to be researched. We also have some plans. There's a local museum to us as a variety of different Native American artifacts that we would love to live stream from. So we got some different things in store besides the just metal detecting videos and that sort of thing. And as far as the live streams, I should not forget Jack Myers. I've been in contact with. I did for the coin seminar weekend. I did a small segment on the Baltimore hoard. Basically, two kids during the Depression found a bunch of gold coins buried in a basement, and Jack Myers actually wrote a book about it. And as I was researching it, and I was like, I know this story from somewhere else. And then I didn't realize I'd made contact with this man probably 6 months prior. So I got a hold of him to see if he would be interested in coming on the live stream and actually have a one-on-one discussion about his book. And he actually has, I guess we can say, more than theorized of the origins of that gold in the basement, and he feels that it's KGC related, Knights of the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
And I just find that the history with that and the background story of that gold is fascinating, more so than the discovery of it, believe it or not. So he has tentatively agreed to come on the live stream sometime in May.
Cool.
And that should be highly. For me, it's exciting. I would love just to selfishly just take Jack Myers by myself and talk to him, let alone share him with everybody, But that's pretty much what's coming up this week. Oh, and also too in March, we're going to be live streaming from the National Money Show in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And hey, I'll be near you people. And
National Money Show?
Yep, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's March the 28th through the 30th. And we'll be live streaming from there a little bit. And some of the other YouTubers are actually going to be there too, including Hoosier Hillbilly. And
cool.
So it should be a great time.
We're at Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's only about a 4-hour drive. Shoot, I've driven a lot farther for gold and snowboarding, so. When is that?
March the 28th through the 30th.
Well, if everything goes right, I'd like to be in Washington State at that time, but we'll see. Cool. I have a love for coins. My dad used to drag me around coin shops and antique shops as a youngster. And to this day, I walk into an antique shop and a coin shop, my hands go right in my pockets. I'm 58 years old, and to this day, from my dad's training, it's like, boop, right when I cross the threshold of a store like that, my hands go in my pocket the whole time I'm looking until I actually want to inspect something and interested in buying it or something. Then I'll ask to see it and look at it and touch it. Other than that,
well, I tell you, the ANA does some really, really great shows. We went to the one in Philadelphia back in last year. I think it was August, and it was I tell you what, I could have took a second mortgage on the house just to go shopping in that show. But I tell you what, they have some great kids programs too. I tell you what, our grandkid actually took more stuff home than I bought. I tell you, and I tell you, in the interpretation that they have, I mean, it's not so much having a coin in a case and on display. They actually have a lot of history behind the coin, interpretation of what's going on there as well. But,
cool. It's always good when you get education along with those shows.
Yeah. Now some of the guys are making fun of me for March. Everything on my grocery list is not a coin. I'm actually going there to look at tokens. Some of the
now
some of the
you're
older
talking my stuff. I love trade tokens, good for brothel tokens, saloon tokens.
Oh, yes, sir.
I have some nice
And,
Civil War tokens too.
Oh, that's on the grocery list for March. Some of the Civil War tokens. But yeah, it should be a great time.
I've been thinking about hopping on the coin bandwagon a little, and doing like a go through of my coins and stuff. Because besides my collection, being the only collector out of all us boys, I inherited all my dad's. All of it. So you could ask Jesse and Dano. I have a cabinet in my basement studio full of coins and coins.
Your basement studio laundry room.
In my top of the notch basement studio utility room, where I have
cave.
Yeah, I have about 32 square feet of it for my studio, Charlie. Maybe a little more than that. Maybe 64 square feet. Someday I'll have to share with you some of my goodies.
Yeah, do please.
Well, we have someone here from the land of Tasmanian devils. our good friend, the man, the myth, the legend, David Buckle.
Bloody Ed, you're talking about hey, they like people ringing in and making the show all about them. How am I meant to not make it about me when you talk me up like that, mate? The man, the legend, the one and only. I've got a hype.
We know.
Yeah.
I tell you,
bloody, there's heaps of them.
I don't know what to be more jealous about, the beard or the hat. That's a great hat.
Bit of a man crush going on here, eh, Charlie? I watched your live show this morning, Sandy and Charlie, and bloody fantastic. You're awesome. I've heard of your name, but I just, you know what it's like with YouTube. There's so many channels out there. It's just, I got to a point where I'm like, I'm not subscribing anymore, but I just happened to come on yours, and bloody hell, well done. Well done. Awesome.
Yeah,
thank
you.
You.
When I went in there to tell you the link was in your Facebook Messenger, Dave was in there. I would have liked to sat around and said hi to everyone like I normally do, but I was already a little behind schedule. So someone commented a flash by flash. Because I was like, the link's in your messenger, Charlie. See ya, bye.
Flash by flash.
And this is, again, a perfect example. I mean, Tasmania there. For him, it's morning. I watch sometimes while I'm getting ready for work in the morning, some of the evening shows in Australia are on. So I'll watch some of those if I'm up early enough to catch them. And
it's a spin out. It's not morning here. It's actually 25 past 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
I tell you.
You're in the afternoon.
But it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday here. So all your viewers.
When we started an hour and a half ago, Dave, what time was it? What time did you say it was there?
Lunchtime. Your show starts at 12 o'clock lunchtime, noon, here in Australia. But we're Wednesday. So I just wanted to say to all your viewers, if you send me $20, I will send you the lotto numbers.
What a shrewd business.
Trust me. Trust me, I'm Australian.
Reminds me of a guy in the Klondike who used to wire people's gold to their banks. He had a cable going to the woods, and it stopped in the woods. Who was that? Soapy Smith, I believe it was, up in the Klondike who did that. Yeah, I can wire your money down to the lower 48s. Just surprising no one ever followed his telegraph lines. Because apparently they just stopped in the woods. Yeah.
Hey, I've got a funny story. Where my father in 1965, he went to Vietnam as a private, you know, like just a soldier in the Australian Army. And when he was there, he was attached to the Big Red One. I don't know what you know about the history of Americans in Vietnam, but there was a group there called the Big Red One. So the Americans and Australians were together. And my dad, or the Australians, were selling the American soldiers kangaroo feathers. And they believed it. They believed it.
I still got my feathers. I remember
my mum and dad also went. They went to America and they were driving this. They brought this Chevy van and they went to just about every state. They didn't go to Hawaii because they couldn't take it over there, you know. But they went everywhere. They went all to Canada and Alaska and everything. And they said, you know that movie Deliverance? Ding 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 ding. You got a pretty mouth.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
They said they went down south somewhere and it was like that. And they had people coming up to them and say, "Did you drive that Chevy van all the way from Australia?"
So
all right, guys.
You're using a Mind Lab machine down there?
Yeah. I haven't used it too much. It's a Mind Lab SDC 2300. It's more. I know you guys are more into treasure hunting and coins than that. This is more for very fine, small gold, and that's what we've got here. So it's perfect for here, and it's waterproof, and it's wet here, so it's suits me. But yeah, I was asking on your show, would it be suitable for coins and that? Probably not.
Well, I'm not too familiar with that machine. I'm curious as far as the coil in that. Is that a large or small coil? Is it like a 6-inch coil or?
One moment. I'll come back. Talk amongst yourselves.
We have a visual coming.
A visual coming up sometime during the show. We'll be able to see it.
Those are the ones like the Garretts that fold up, right?
Yeah, it looks like it opens up into an Uzi.
Oh,
I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago, didn't I?
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago you did a video.
I said it's military. It is military. They made it for mine sweeping, but then they converted it to more detecting, you know, more.
Isn't that pretty much the history of metal detecting anyway? They were first used for mine detecting.
I don't know if they were first used. I did at one time have a World War II mine detector. That thing weighed like 100 pounds. You know, come in a big wooden box. You did put it all together and.
Yeah, I think they use them to sweep minefields.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I had I told you I was going to make it all about me. I had a live show the other night. I had Pioneer Paulie,
Where's
Adventure
that
Gold
button? How do you? Go ahead, David. I'm just messing with you, buddy.
I didn't even hear what you said. You talk too slow for me, Ed.
That's because I'm relaxed and you're too wound up.
Oh, is that what it is? Hey,
that's the way they are.
You're going to mute me, Ed. You did, you bastard. I had that show and I had all these bloody celebrities on there. And it was shocking. You reckon your lagging's bad? Oh, I was so nervous. I was dropping the camera. I was knocked all the gold over. I was sweating. I couldn't think what to say. And I said, never again. Never. I'll just do videos. No live stuff.
I didn't catch it live. I caught it later that morning.
I
was
caught
gonna try to
probably the
get on
last
my-
half. I probably caught last half live.
I'm embarrassed,
You
man.
did all
I'm
right. You
embarrassed.
did all right. For the first time, you did
No.
good.
You did all right. You did all right.
I'm embarrassed. I want to delete it.
You got to roll with the punches, David. You can't give up. Or if that was the case, I would have thrown in the towel long ago.
The biggest thing I can
Oh,
tell
when
you, just be David, the David we know, and everybody will like it just fine, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be yourself.
I don't know how to be anyone else. People say that. They
There
say,
you
just be
go.
yourself. How can I pretend to be someone I'm not?
Look who
Not
just
like
showed
that,
up. Hey, Sean. Busted Knuckles. Prospector
Sean.
just showed up.
We got
Is
a
he on
house
Skype?
full. Yeah, no, he's in the chat room.
Right.
He's a good bloke. I talk to him on Skype and we talk on the phone and all that. He's awesome. He's real good at crevicing. He loves crevices and he's the master. He's the master crevicer. Hey, do you want to quickly see some gold before I go, or is that making it all about me again?
Go ahead. Make it about you, David.
I like to. Hey,
show us your nuggets.
Who's going to argue with that?
Hey, you
Show
haven't seen
us
these
your
gold. I
nuggets.
got some of my gold back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, it finally came out of you?
No.
Yeah. It got caught in a low pressure zone.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Can you see
I wish
it?
I could see it.
Can you
Nice.
see it?
Up a
Wait,
little. Yeah.
Oh, that's plugging myself for the day. All right, I'm going to get back on the chat, guys.
All right. Oh, no hypothetical for Charlie tonight?
Well, I thought you wanted me to go. Yes, I have a hypothetical for Charlie. Charlie, if a genie came down, it's not real, so just pretend. The genie come down and said, I'll give you a certain amount of money. How much money will it take for you to never, ever, ever put on another video? You have to delete all your videos that you've ever done, and you're never allowed to go detecting ever again. How much money would you do that for?
Wow. Wow.
Let me throw
Wow.
some figures around. $100,000 US.
No, that wouldn't be enough. Well, let's see.
Half a mil.
No,
Half a million.
Not enough.
Bloody hell, you love what you do, don't you?
Yeah. Now, if we get around 2.8 mil, I might have to stop and think.
2.8 mil.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't sound like you're going to stop and think. It sounds like something you've already thought about.
I figure I could retire nicely on 2.8. So, yeah, if you write the check for 2.8, I'd give it some thought.
Not me, the genie.
Oh, not you.
The
Oh,
hypothetical
okay.
genie. I've got nobody, mate.
He don't want you to take him up on it. He just.
But even with that figure 2.8, I really would have to stop and think about it because it's a passion. It's in your blood. You know?
I understand, man. I understand. I just like to give people indecent proposals.
If my legs got bitten off by a shark, I take the 2.8 without thinking twice.
Yeah. Buy some new legs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Lieutenant Dan.
Might need about $6 million for that.
$6 million man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You know I love you. I'll catch you on the next show. Oh, I'm going to get back in the chat anyway.
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Take it easy, David.
No.
Our buddy David Buckle from the land down under.
A day ahead of us.
That's so bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I guess.
It's like like I was saying earlier, some of the Australian live streams happen for me when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, and I think they're in the evening or late afternoon. And I tell you, some of the stuff just blows my mind as far as the differences, and even as far as like some of the metal detectorists when they talk about soil content and whatnot. And I tell you, but he always learns stuff, Even like
they're what I say, 16 hours ahead of us.
16, depending what part of Australia
Right.
you're talking about. Melbourne and Tasmania and that part of the continent is 16 hours ahead. Yes.
I know, I looked it up on my app. They have an app for everything,
Yeah.
Oh man, this lag is so bad tonight.
Yeah, and it's killing me because I was testing all last weekend and doing different settings and with, oh gosh, here, kitty. Oh, I was gonna say I could kill something, but I could never hurt my cats. But oh, it's aggravating because guys, and I know Charlie knows, we don't do this to put out a crappy product. I do this because I want to give you guys, we want to give all of you the best product we could do. And obviously this is but got to roll with the punches and do what we can. It has to be YouTube. That's it. It's YouTube's fault.
Somebody's fault.
Jared,
Not mine.
I don't want to hear my stream's the only one lagging, buddy. I don't want to hear that. But because I'm blaming YouTube. Whatever, T-Bone. It ain't a lost cause. Whatever. Fair weathener YouTuber. I tell you what, get on this side and let's see if you can do it better. I know Charlie Reiser can.
Oh, we just make it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks. I tell you, we've had a couple of train wreck streams where just nothing would go right. But
some nights it seems like it starts off good and it starts going bad, and by the time the night's over, it's so bad.
And then sometimes it starts off bad and ends beautiful.
Right. And some nights it's perfect all night, no problem.
And I don't change settings or nothing.
I know the one thing I had to get under control was the oh goodness, the software in the background, like Norton and whatnot.
Right.
Norton will play dirty tricks on your live stream if it starts running in the middle of it, because it'll sap up your CPU usage.
Oh,
right.
I could see what's running.
We're going to do a software check right now. We're going to scan your computer, make sure you got no bugs going on. Well, we know you're busy, but we're going to do it in the background.
I hate when they send that message too, like you're not doing anything, hey, we're going to run this in the background for you. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It won't affect anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hear that's a pretty bad flu this year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess. Wow.
I just want to know why I have so many Chrome things in there. Oh, if I knew. I wish I was more computer savvy like some of my friends.
We all need a pocket version of Shay from Mantic Coins. Oh my God, he's another one. He's got that stream really well done.
Oh yeah, him and Adriana do a great job, and Shay, are you in here? I think it's hilarious when those two start bickering.
Oh, yeah. It's like Ma and Pa Kettle, you know.
And for if you donate, they actually give you some nice stuff, you know.
Oh, goodness, yes.
I've gotten some really nice coins and errors and NFs, doggone it, whatever they're called. I'm having a brain fart. NFCs. But yeah, some really nice stuff from our friends over at Mantic Coins. But know what bums me out? Whenever you guys have those seminars, Charlie, I'm not able to watch them.
Yeah, well, Ken Peavy's now doing them quarterly. So we just had this one. So the next one's coming up in May. I think they were kicking around the idea somewhere around May the 17th for the next one. And usually it's a great time. I tell you what, so much stuff is given away during one of those seminars. I mean, Hoogie's Hobby Shop, YouTuber, he gave away a Carson City Morgan, I believe. I was driving, actually. I didn't get to watch his stream, but I was listening to it. And he gave away a Morgan, and oh my goodness. And then if you happen to have caught the Coin Seminar weekend finale, why, there was tons and tons of silver being given away for that. And it's just a great weekend, you know. People share what they know. I'm kind of like the black sheep of the coin people. Why? Because I happen to like dirty coins, you know. And yeah, there's some great stuff, great information, and you know, the chat's always a good time. And one good thing you have, there's something else we probably didn't touch on. You always have to have thick skin too.
Oh yeah.
People will joke and whatnot and have some great comments, and unfortunately, some people will take it personally, and you can't take it personally. They're joking, you know. And what the real key to the test is, if at first I became I don't want to say insulted, but Sandy pointed out to me that the better the story is, the less chat there is.
That's because they're listening.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
There was one stream in particular, I got so nervous because I saw the chat stop. I thought, did we lose our stream? But no, later on she told me no, because people were listening to the story, and I froze up. I was like, I didn't know if I was to continue, if I needed a reset. But anyway, back to the point though. But people will chat back and forth and cut up on each other and have a good time. And it doesn't mean to stop what you're doing. It means keep going, go further, because they're having a good time. And that's one thing about the coin community and the coin seminar weekend, I think really brings out. It's the good time, the fellowship, the camaraderie, and anything that you can gain in knowledge is always a wonderful thing.
Right.
Well, I also love the way all of our communities kind of intertwine. Now, here they're going to say, oh no, he's going to do the hand thing again. I look at it as like the band of the hand, you know, because we're all treasure hunters. Sure, some of us are gold prospectors and relic hunters and coin shooters and bottle diggers and
Flea market buyers and
right
doors.
dumpster divers, whatever.
Oh yeah. I love dumpster diving.
Treasure's treasure.
Yep.
You know, one man's trash is another one's treasure. Ask exploring with the Nug. his treasure are stuff people throw in rivers, you know. But I think it's an absolutely awesome community, and that's why Tuesday nights is probably my favorite night of the week, by far.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime they get out and talking to people and sharing, and that's the whole thing too, about sharing. It's not so much a display. It's not so much here, look at me. It's also the interaction between the fellow digger or the fellow coin nerd or whatever you got. And because it's just a great thing to share. And you find a lot of people are willing, whether it's technique or whatnot. I was talking to, I'm not really a big coin roll hunter, okay, but I have kicked around the idea. And I was talking to one guy. He says, if you got small banks in your town, hit them. Hit your smaller banks. And, stay away from like the Wells Fargo or the Bank of America. He says, if you got your small town local bank, try to hit them up for coins. And I'm like, okay, this guy's far more experienced at it than I am, and we'll give it a whack.
So what's the difference then?
The difference is it seems like the smaller banks get more hand-rolled coins than what the larger banks do. And because basically your small town bank or they have like, I don't know how you want to phrase it, the older customers will say, people who are still hand rolling their coins.
I've heard of them.
So but
hey,
I'm gonna have to hit up
Top Cat just showed up. How you doing, Top Cat?
Hey, Todd.
Oh, Todd made it.
Yep.
He must got back from the Yuba or something.
He's listening and cooking dinner.
Small banks. I got a few of those here in the good old town of Doofus, Ohio.
I imagine even small towns would be worth driving to go to their banks, huh?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we have several small community banks, believe it or not. In the southern part of the state here, we still have rural areas, and we have access to a couple of small banks. Now, unfortunately, some banks, they don't really want to deal with you unless you have an account in their bank or whatnot.
That's true too.
Yeah, but some of them don't. They don't. I don't want to say they don't care, but they don't mind,
So can you go like into your local bank and say, hey, you got any hand rolled coins?
Now, unfortunately, the bank that we use for the majority of our banking is one of the larger banks, right? So you really have to, I don't want to say beg, but they if you order them, they'll get them for you. But I thought of trying something else. I thought about taking the grandkid in there and going, grandkid wants some coins, and perhaps try that. Oh, okay. Who's going to tell her no? I also thought about taking her along to do permissions, metal detecting. Can we metal detect your yard, sir? And you never know. It might work.
I don't know. I'd be a little leery. Some little kid coming up on a metal detector, knowing he don't know how to dig a hole.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, so the next coin seminar weekend is, I think they were kicking around May the 17th or the weekend after, which would be Memorial Day weekend, which I don't know. I hope they stick to the 17th. But I can tell you, some of the great stuff they've given away. They gave away silver. They even gave away a gram of gold. Well, actually, the gram of gold is actually to be given away. They're doing a vote of the best presenter during the coin seminar weekend, and whoever gets the most votes, they're going to get a silver Canadian dollar and also a gram of gold that somebody has donated. So yeah, even gold's being given away. I think the first coin seminar weekend show, they actually did give away a $5 gold coin, and it's growing.
Nice.
I mean, it's growing. Ken Peavy's doing a bang up job with it. There is some corporate considerations going on. We tried the coin seminar weekend prior to this one, as far as some corporate sponsorships from like Whitman and whatnot. And we're going to try and hit them again for the upcoming one. To go, hey, we're growing. There's more people streaming. Basically, there's enough people watching. There's enough interest there to where it would benefit some of the corporate sponsors to be involved. And so we'll try courting them again for the next upcoming one.
There you go.
But it just makes it it's kind of really when the corporations start taking notice, it makes you feel good, But